What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy SnowyKurama, and we are here for week 3 of the Breedable Royale League, BRL for short. Your Chicago White Sox are going up against the Wobbly Wigglytuffs, coached by krookhunteredge, or Crook for short, if you want to be a little more familiar. This coach here, it says, are new to draft leagues. I'm just reading off of the division reveal channel, really. So, yeah, they're new, I suppose. But they're going into this week just a little bit ahead of us. Also a 0-2, but they have a little bit better differential. So hopefully we can, pull it out here, get a win finally, and then shoot up to potentially where they're at in 11th place. Instead of 12th. Oh boy. Anyway, let's just get into what we got going on with the team here. We have Algoro. Oh, and of course, the opponent's team is going to be up on the right side, just as always. We have Algoro starting us off here. I thought that Choice Banded Pangoro looked pretty dang good into their team. So that's what we got going on here. Close combat's really nice because, as you can see, there's a lot of fighting weaknesses going on over there. So we could potentially get anything that would want to not take that, of course. Knock off for potential switches because we love just getting rid of items. Slowbro would not like their lefties taken off, or our potential Rocky Helmet. Blissey and their boots would be pretty good to knock off as well. You have access to a Violet on Golbat and Carkol, so it'd be nice for them to be removed. Ice Punches here for a potential ground-type Pokemon like Donphan coming in, which is also why we have that speed. More on that later. It's also good into Dragapult, potentially just if it wants to come in and we don't knock that turn. And then Parting Shot for our own Switch initiative. We have 12 in speed there to outspeed a potentially crept Donphan, in which case that thing should be knocked out pretty cleanly with an Ice Punch, and if not, then it'll take massive damage, because that's quite a bit of speed to run on a Donphan. And then the rest is obviously an attack and HP. I have just as much HP as I can muster, and then just a little bit off of attack, not exactly max, because we have a band, so it shouldn't matter too much if we're not fully invested in attack. Up next we got Tressa Thompson, our tried and true fortress, holding the heavy duty boots with sturdy so that we can live stuff, at least on one. We have Toxic Spikes here this match because they may have access to Donphan and Golbat, who can remove hazards, as well as Comfey, I believe. They don't have a grounded poison, which means Toxic Spikes are potentially going to go up and stay up due to not being able to be absorbed. Volt Switch here, obviously, for switching initiative. Rapid Spins, because they have rock types and Stealth Rocks and Spikeroos on Ferrothorn. So we would love to get those to go away. And then Stealth Rock of our very own. We have 216 in Spadef to help tank Dragapult's Shadow Balls a bit better. And then the rest of it's just shoved into defense. We are Sassy Nature so that our Volt Switch can do at least a little bit more damage. Maybe like a percent or two, but a percent or two might matter. Up next we got Edelgard, our Mega Gardevoir, obviously holding the Gardevoir right. We have Trace, because Trace is good. We have these moves, just Dual Stab with Hyper Voice and Psyshock, and then we have Vacuum Wave finally being ran, because being able to take out the Weavile with Vacuum Wave would be really nice. It does a solid 80% max or so, if I remember the calc correctly. So if that thing comes in on some hazards, the Vacuum Wave can just knock it out real nice and easy. Like, we have Psyshock here over Psychic because there's a Blissey on the team, and it used to be Energy Ball for the Slowbro, but it turns out that Hyper Voice is just as good into a specially defensive Slowbro. I think it does about 50 or so minimum. And then obviously there's a Golback that could switch in, and Psyshock would be super cool in that thing. Just max. Nothing really to see here. Paldean Tauros could potentially outspeed us if we do any lower, so it's... Hopefully we can get that 50-50 with the speed. There's a lot of 50-50 speeds going on. So that's our Gardevoir. We have Calm Mind, of course, just to boost. Just in case someone wants to switch out on this thing. I think we can also just boost on Blissey. Maybe even Comfey. Depending. Up next we have Miami Heat, the Rotom Heat, holding a Choice Scarf with Trick so that we could potentially get some lefties from these bulkier members on Crook's team. We have Pain Split for more recovery and just some good chip damage. Volt Switch, obviously, for some switch initiative, and Overheat because there's a Ferrothorn on that team. Pain Split used to be... No, not Pain Split. Volt Switch used to be Will-O-Wisp, but this thing being defensive and wanting to come in on a Paldean Tauros, really can't Will-O-Wisp it because it's the fire form. So we have Volt Switch and Pain Split to help whittle that thing down. Just fully max defense. Nothing really too crazy here. We have a lot of specially defensive walls on the team, so we just need something for our defense. We could also do some Pain Split and some fast Volt switching before we get rid of our Scarf. Zapdos the Kilowattrel's back. So is Terra Water. We got Thunderbolt, Hurricane, Terra Blast, and Roost just for this thing to be a full-on specially nuke. That's really it. We have speed in here to get a potential 50-50 off against the Weavile if we're in. Plus, just Terraing into a water type to get rid of our ice weakness would be very good into that thing. Boots for longevity and just being able to come in over and over again on rocks. Last but not least, we got Muck Norris off of the bench with the Black Sludge, Poison Touch of course, so that we could potentially poison Mons coming in. Lots and lots of poisoning on this team. Gunk Shot is obviously our strongest poison move. I figured Comfey would just come in and sit on this team and do some shenanigans, so we needed something to do, or something to deal with that, and that's what Muck is going to be doing for us. We have Knockoff again, just like on Algoro, for potential Dragapult switch-ins or anything else that would like to keep their items, and I say we don't want to keep their items. We have a Ferrothorn on the other team, so I figured Fire Blast would be a really cool tech to catch that thing off guard. Does a solid 30 or so to Spadef Ferrothorn, which is much better than being whittled down by Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs with a Fire Punch that'll be doing even less. And then we have Toxic here. It was Drain Punch, but I figured that we're getting enough recovery with the Black Sludge. So Toxic it is, just to spread around more of that status, whittling down stuff and things. We are just Max Spadef because there's a Dragapult. This thing tanks at things, Specs, Modest, Draco Meteor's okay, but, you know, if that thing does use anything against us and not switch, we're obviously knocking off, so the Choice Specs is off. It'll be -2 in the special attack, potentially switching out. We could Toxic something on the switch, or even just knock off again to get rid of an item. So yeah, that is the team. We are Sassy Nature instead of Careful, just for that Fire Blast, and we just have the rest in attack, just, you know, because this thing is physically offensive for the most part. Big shout out to William D for helping with the team. I ran a lot of ideas off of him because he offered. And real good guy. Real good guy. So, we are going to see you next in the battle. Okay, so we got Pult, Slowbro. What's that fucker's name? Blissey, Tauros, Comfey, and Donphan. Okay. Well, the dedicated lead here is Rotom to try to get some lefties overs. Almost. God damn it. Okay, so we see the Tauros. I don't rightly want to give this thing a Scarf. Not really. And we will be going first, So I could just Volt here. I could Volt here and go out to Algor. Maybe. Muckanoris isn't built for this guy. He's doing a lot to that. Completely forgot that we're Dark type. And that's exactly what they're going to be going for. So I might just stay in and just press the Overheat button. Okay, so I have no idea what they want to do. They want a Rock Slide here. Our Overheat does about 35. And they're Scarfed. They're for sure Scarfed. 100% Scarfed. So, I like that they missed that. I could go to Algor here since we won't take a dick from that. Could go to Tressa and just set up some Hazzy-Doos. I like that idea, actually. They're for sure Scarfed because we are Scarfed. So. They go to Comfey. Great switch on our part into this thing for sure, I think. Go ahead and Toxic Spikes. I don't... Wait, this thing can be... Oh, Sub. Volt Switch will not destroy the Sub, unfortunately for us. I might just go right out into Muck. I'm gonna Volt first. Leech Seed, okay, so could have potentially just gotten up some more Toxic Spikes. Whatever, we got a layer. This thing for sure needs to get gunked. Nobody would really want to tank a gunk, except for maybe Slowbro. But we're gonna still press the button here. Yep, got the Sub taken care of. They might press the button again, but we can just gunk. They're probably just gonna keep doing that, being completely honest. Hyper Voice will still be sub-breaking. He's got Leech Seed. So we could just... I think that's gonna be the play. We are now we have Triage now, which is cool. I'm just gonna press the CM button. Does the same thing. We're gonna break the Sub here. I forgot the Hyper Voice goes through Sub. Oh man, I'd love to say that that was planned, but boy howdy, was it not. I'm just as surprised as Chad is right now, man. So we got the Comfey down, which is great because that thing was probably gonna beat our ass if we let that thing set up too many subs. And we got one CM up, which is great. I am expecting either Pult or Tauros, because Tauros outspeeds us for sure. It really just depends on what Crook decides is okay to get statused. I do wish that I set up another layer of Toxic Spikes. I don't know, man. We're just here. We're vibing. We're chilling. We're recording, I'm hoping. Yep, we're recording. All of this is being recorded. I'm expecting the Tauros or the Pult. It's the Chansey, actually. The Blissey. It's the Blissey. What do we do? Because you're for sure just max defense, right? And we are Mega Gardevoir. Psyshock is doing it to 70, potentially. I don't think setting up another round of Calm Minds is good. This thing might want to Thunder Wave me too. Thunder Wave, potentially Toxic. But I think getting it down is probably the best call. Yeah, we'll just do that. Oh, just Seismic Tosses? Okay, man. I mean, I'll press the Psyshock button again. You don't have a Dark type. So this is free. I'm not really expecting a switch per se. But if we get one, then it might be Don Fan. You know, the switch might be you, actually. Hyper Voice just 34 to 40. I'm gonna use that instead. Expecting him to want to keep this. This guy comes out. Hyper Voice almost does it, and we get the kill thanks to Fortress's setting up of the toxic spikes. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. We are up 2 Mons. Feels pretty good. So this thing is going to want to Shadow Ball me. I can see that for sure. Unless you want to set up expecting me to switch out. You do not have the Weavile that I was expecting you to have, so that's really good. I just have a lot of physical attackers as well. I could totally just let this thing go down, because you're going to outspeed and kill. You're going to tank hits, but probably not super well considering Hyper Voice. So I could let this thing go down so that this thing doesn't set up. If you Shadow Ball, I'm probably just going to go Algoro afterwards. I think Muck is the play. What about Tressa? What is Tressa? Yeah, Muck's the play. Then we'll just press the knockoff, because there's no Ferrothorn, so Fire Blast isn't something we need to care about. Okay, we knock off the item. Which ended up being Cobra Berry. Completely fine. Completely fine. Really wish that I had another layer up, man. Another layer would be dope. I'm thinking about Algoro. I think I'll just go Tressa, get up another layer. Or... Slow down, Snowy. Slow the fuck down, motherfucker. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. I'll probably just let this thing go down, to be honest. Oh! Alright. I'll keep this thing around for a sack. And we can go Mr. Goro here. Presses Wish. Who are you wishing at? Does Parting Shot... Does this go through Protect? I could just log myself into knockoff, say fuck it, right? This thing isn't gonna live that. I could CC, and then switch out to... You? You? You don't really do anything to the pull. Not really. I'll press knock. Oh, Tauros comes out. You get rid of that Choice Scarf. Back up to full, however. I might go you. Just a sack. For a free switch in here. I feel like I want to save that for pull, though, is the problem. So, Miami Heat it is. How much does our move do to you? Volt Switch does 53 to 63. You're at 82. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Okay, so Blissy's down. I don't even know where to go. Everything's going to be Toxic Spiked down for sure. Really wish I had some dependable Scarfer that was in place for Super Guy there. We'll go Goro here. We're not gonna let you just wish up, so I think I'll press the knock again. You might go you. You could wish. If I'm him, I might just press wish. I'm knocking. Alright. Blissy's gone. It's good. I kind of wish we had Protect on some of these Pokemon so that we could, you know, just... Alright, so you might CC me since I'm weak to it. Could keep on going out to you to get damage. I don't know, man. I feel like we're just, our trick isn't good anymore. The defensive mons besides Slowbro are gone. I guess we could trick him. How much does Edelgard take from... Well, even then we'll be speed tying, so that's stupid. That is just not smart. We'll go Tressa. We'll just sack Tressa. How much does Vacuum Wave do to this thing at -1? $36 to 42. Not enough. I suppose we could just... So CC ain't doing shit. You could have Flare Blitz. Rather than Raging Bull. Which is going to do a ton. Rock Slide miss again. Tressa goes down here. Oh, we're gonna just go Zapdos. Or Zapdont. We're going Zapdont here. We might just Terra Water. And then press Terra Blast instead of Hurricaning so that we don't lose our guy. I think that's the play. Yep, I believe that just pressing Terra Blast on this thing is going to be good. And if Slowbro comes out, we can just press Thunderbolt, honestly. I'm very confused as to why there was no Pharaoh Thorn. We had the Muck Tech for that, bro. We had the Fire Blast Tech for that. Muck's at 63, which is not great for Pulse. I didn't even see. I don't remember exactly how much the Pult did. Shadow Ball did 30. Excuse me. Did 30. Okay. So our Terra Blast did 19. I have a feeling they're Fizz Death. We're just gonna press Bolt. That's a dead Slowbro. Alright, just 2 more guys, and we did it. But we cannot just, you know, can't be cocky here. You might have Bolt for this. You just might have Bolt for this. I think this is our best way to get rid of the Tauros, the most surefire way to get rid of the Tauros, so I don't think we want to get rid of you. I think that a switch to Miami Heat is just fine, because this thing doesn't need to do anything. So just presses U-turn, huh? Alright. 70. I might just press Pain Split here. Just do some stalling, why not? Rotom's got less HP than both the Pokemon that are remaining. And we lived. Got some of that back. You're just gonna press the same move again, I think. What does our guard think about that? 55 to 65. It doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Goro it is. UCC, good for you. Good for you. This guy here. I'm wanting to press T-Bolt because I think it's going to do more to Pult than Terra Blast will. Maybe by a slight. Now we go right out into Muck here. Or should we just do Miami Heat? We'll do Miami Heat, fuck it. Just Shadow Balls. Gonna go out to Muck Norris and press Knock. Okay. So you switched up moves, obviously. I want to say that you still don't knock me out. Because I think that you're... Based off of the damage you were doing with Shadow Ball, I don't think you're modest. So even though I'm -1, I don't think Knock will KO, but... Ah, it does. It doesn't, so Fortress is getting all the kills today, I suppose. GG to Crook. Holy hell, I did not know how I was going to pull that out some of that time, because there was just a lot of switches that was happening. I was caught off guard by a couple of different things here. Like, just... No Pharaoh, no Terra-ing at all. I got lucky as shit that that Hyper Voice worked the way that it did. I forgot it went through sub. Crook clearly didn't remember that it went through sub. So yeah, the Chicago White Sox has gotten the first win of the season against the Wigglytuff team. I'm sorry, man, I don't remember your team name off the top of my head. Next week, I don't know who we go against, just as usual. But yeah, yay us. Like this video if you have not already. Subscribe to the channel. We have 3 more subs before we hit triple digits. Very excited about that. So if you just go ahead and do that for us, that'd be fantastic. Only if you enjoy the video, though. I'm not trying to farm nothing. But with all that being said and more, this has been your boy, SnowyKurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.